Hello, 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 and welcome to the Misdemeanor, everyone. Season 3, episode 1. Hope you're all having a good day today. Oh my gosh, we're back. We're back, baby, with the Misdemeanor. Oh my gosh, how's everyone doing? How y'all doing today? Hope your day is well. Hold on, let me unmute. Let me mute. Why is it raining in the Misdemeanor? That's right. I was trying to figure out what sound effects we had at that point in time. But it is good. Oh, what is this? Wait, hold on. What's this? What's this sound effect? Hold on. I'm gonna unmute. Let me hear what this sound effect is. Is this good? Yeah, that's good. That's some good ambience. I feel like that's some good ambience right there. It's raining because we're sad about Shen. Oh no. That's true though. Oh no. Let me unmute and see how everyone else is feeling about Shen. Today's a double D&D day. We're doing Misdemeanor, our season premiere now. Saturdays, for those that are here, are going to be the primary days that we do Misdemeanor from here on out for season 3. And Hunters of Io is concluding at 7 p.m. So I've got double D&D day. So I gotta jump. I gotta jump right into it. Get some caffeine in me as well. Yar. Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, how's everyone doing today?
Doing good.
Swell.
Fantastic. Hold on, I need to adjust some audio levels. Dukes, are you back?
I am. Hello.
Yeah, hello. Okay, just making sure. Sorry. Adjusting, and I think everyone's good. I'll adjust as we go on. So excited to be DMing a third season, the final season of the Misdemeanor for this.
Christ.
Wait, this is the
What?
this is the final season?
This is the
You're
final.
canceling
Yeah.
us?
This is
You're not renewing our contract?
This is I'm canceling all of IO after this.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I thought
Hmm?
the whole point of that big fight was to make sure that didn't happen, Brett.
Oh, it's happening. I went ahead and I spoke to the review board or whatever, and I can't keep this joke up. No, this is our final season, the final act for all the campaigns that are continuing on. Because we are going to be wrapping up this storyline of IO, World of IO's second phase, phase 2. So it's so we're going to be wrapping up the story here for another, I don't know, we'll see how many sessions it ends up being. It'll probably be anywhere between 10 to 12 sessions. And then phase 3 begins right after that, which is going to be a brand new story to take place in the future, that is built off of the actions that you all have done in this phase. Kind of like the offline campaigns for Dodger and Joe. As their actions cascaded, your actions will continue. It branches off into a tree of life or something like that. I'm not entirely certain what you would describe it as, but yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. I like to think so. So before we begin, I probably should have told you this earlier, and I apologize I did not. Because of your fight against Cosmikara and the cult of Daymancers that attempted to bring forth Cosmikara with the battle's success cascading above, you all level up. So
What?
Yeah.
with the exception of Sterling. Sterling does not level up, but everyone else.
What? Oh, come on. Give the old man a break.
He's level 10. You got to catch up to him. You got to get up to his level.
So we're 9 now.
You are 9 now. That is correct, which means
I'm 9 years old.
no, that is not that is not what that means.
Happy birthday
I'm gonna say I'm about to kill your character if you keep that up. It means
Oh my gosh.
I know.
It means for spellcasters, you now have access to 5th level spells.
Yeah.
Nukes.
Nukes. That is correct. 5th level
Hey,
spells.
Brett, I rolled a 1 for my HP. Wasn't there some rule about that?
Your hit points is now 5.
Okay.
Yeah, so one becomes 5 essentially.
Wait, how does that work?
That's
I don't remember how that works.
math.
So you roll your hit points, whatever your hit die is, and if you roll below 1 plus the middle, then it becomes 1 plus the middle. So if you have for example, Captain Beard Throne has a D8 for a hit die, rolled a 5, so you keep the 5. 5 is the minimum that you can roll for that. So if you, for spellcasters or sorcerers, you roll a D6. If you roll below a 4, then you take a 4. And I believe Druid is a D8.
Oh, okay. Oops.
Yeah.
How do we add it? Or is it automatic?
I can do that for you if you'd like. Let me go over to your
Where
character
you
sheets.
learn your hit die specifically? I actually never knew that.
Well, every class has a different hit die. So
You can go to features and traits, and then under features it should say hit points, and you can click on that, and it'll bring up. This is in
okay.
D&D Beyond.
Yeah, it's 1d8.
We long rest our character as
Oh
we're
yeah,
doing this?
7.
yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Luna
D8
definitely
must
is
be
tapped.
nice.
Must be nice, dude.
That must be great.
It is nice.
Love that
gotta
for
say.
you.
Well, you get to cast lightning from your hands. So I mean, everything has a balance. I feel like. Did you just boo? Did you just fucking boo me? Oh my gosh, such ruly pirates. So for your character sheet, that you should go to the builder specifically, in the upper right corner, the anvil with the hammer, and then when you select that page, you'll see a box that says manage HP in the upper right corner. When you select that, just add whatever you roll to your rolled HP section. So you might have to do a little bit of math on that end. Did that make sense, Gerard?
Yes, it did, and it updated. Thank you.
Okay,
Got it.
welcome. You're welcome.
Oh, proficiency bonus went up.
Proficiency also
Roll
went
the
up.
thing that everyone's rolling.
Bless you.
Thank you, sorry.
I'm sorry, Laura?
Oh, where do you roll the thing that people are adding to it?
Oh, so in Roll20, you can /roll and then space and then just type 1d6, and that way you roll a d6 and Roll20.
Oh.
I'll actually switch the screen now so people can see what the heck's going on and see what you guys are rolling. So you rolled a 4, which is the minimum that you could roll. So now you add a 4 to your hit points.
Oh. Okay.
And that is by going into the builder, selecting manage HP, and adding that number to your rolled hit die. By the way, in phase 3, this is going to be all automatic, so nothing to worry about. You'll also be able to use whatever character sheet you'd like that makes your lives easier. And then it'll all be managed on my side as far as like D&D Beyond displays, or if we end up using a D&D Beyond display, yeah. Hopefully phase 3 will take a lot of the prep work from the players so that all you guys have to do is choose what you want, and then the character sheets will be built around for you.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Laura, you now have 9 sorcery points to
Oh.
work with. Your proficiency bonus is +4, and you get 1 5th level spell, so you can choose that.
Oh, that's awesome. 9 sorcery points.
I got +10 to hit with my rapier now. Holy crap.
Wow.
That's good.
Yeah.
Careers will end.
Stuff. Yeah.
Never miss.
Yeah, I
never
like
miss.
that.
I don't know why that got me. That's the good shit. Yeah.
You just have to imagine that Alice is saying it, and it makes it funnier.
Yeah, it is. Oh my gosh. While you're doing all that, I totally realized I'm gonna get everyone's tokens updated real fast. Boop, boop, boop. So it actually does stuff. Although, to be fair, I don't believe today is going to be. I think today's going to be an RP session. So, but we shall see. We shall see what ends up happening.
One of us punches a guard.
I thought you were gonna say one of us punches the other, and it's just a big PvP set. Why? I don't know.
I don't know. Thought it'd be pretty funny. We do have, and I think I brought it up to you guys, and I'll bring it to everyone. We do have a non-canonical session coming up where it is a what is it? Not canonical in a world where Wood Gnome is the final boss. So
Love it.
yeah,
I can't wait. I can't wait.
big climactic Wood Gnome non-canonical fight coming up in the future. So it should be pretty good.
That is real. I thought my community was joking when they said that you're.
Nope.
I didn't realize that was real.
Nope, absolutely not. Non-canonical Wood Gnome fight. It could also be a beach episode. That is correct. Someone's in chat. We could do both. We could do a beach episode.
I mean, a lot of episodes are beach episodes for us, I guess.
All right, that's true.
I
wanna-
with our cast playing like volleyball.
Yeah, exactly. And then Wood Gnome gets angry. He pops the your volleyball, and then you final fight against Wood Gnome.
Just so that for everyone at home, my level 9 skill is that I can now move along vertical surfaces and across liquids without falling. So I'm basically
Oh.
You're
You can walk on
Jesus?
water.
You're Jesus.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
yeah, I can. So I can climb things without falling, and I can also walk on water. Apparently,
That's amazing.
Jesus Layton.
Jesus Layton. Didn't realize we were going on that arc, but here we are.
it makes sense. It makes sense.
It's the natural progression of
How
your
does
character.
it make sense?
Natural.
How does it make sense,
I
Layton?
have an undead sword. What else do you? I'm a wrestler.
Yes, I do remember. I remember church
Oh,
on
it's 'cause
Sunday.
You're a monk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Forgot
do remember.
about
I do remember church on Sunday when they brought up Jesus and his undead sword. Immortal.
Oh, the Holy Ghost runs well with Leighton.
Oh my God, that's amazing. That's amazing. Holy crap!
On Sunday, I get a special 10 plus
Stop.
point stat too.
Stop! Stop! The misdemeanor, extra sacrilegious.
Now with blasphemy.
Now with 10% more blasphemy. Chat's curious. They're just wondering the entire time, like, did I miss the episode where Leighton became Jesus? Okay, all right. I mean, it's whatever. It's whatever. How's everyone's leveling up doing?
I'm all done.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, mine was
We still
easy.
need to
The
pick a
spells.
spell, but I don't know how important that is to do today. So I'm just
I mean, you should absolutely pick a spell and see. Like, is there any that tickle your fancy right now as far as spells go?
it's do I want damage or do I want utility? Do I want creation or do I want something like hold monster or do I, So I don't know.
That I understand that. Oh shoot, there's one. Okay, so while you're
There's a spell called seeming. What is this?
Oh, that's we were actually talking about that on goblins. Seeming essentially allows you to disguise everyone in your vicinity and make them look however the heck you want them to look. So you could literally
Whoa, that's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
but it is an illusion. So if you're just like, hey, everyone's a overweight guy now, and then if someone like pokes your stomach, it'll like go through the stomach because it's an illusion. But it's like it's a thing that happens that lasts 8 hours, I believe. But yeah, that's seeming essentially.
Everyone's an overweight guy. That would be a interesting spell to cast.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be it over. It could be pretty much. You could make everyone look whatever you want them to look like. Essentially,
Can you turn people into like animals?
I think so. But again, someone could like try and like if you're a squirrel, someone could try and step over you and then just bump into you because it is again just like an illusion. Seeming appearance of a number of creatures that you can see within range to give you an illusionary appearance. An unwilling creature makes charisma. Spell disguises physical appearance as well as clothing, armor, weapons, and equipment. You can make each creature seem one. It has to be 1 foot, so 1 foot shorter or taller, and appear thin, fat, or in between. You can't change a target's body type, so you must choose a form that has the same or basic arrangement of limbs. Otherwise, the extent of the illusion is up to you.
Ooh.
You can make them animal people if you'd like.
Okay.
Interesting.
If that works for you.
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing campaign incoming, absolutely. Hold on one second. Yep, that works. Okay. All right, I'm getting music ready for today's session because today's session should be a fun one. He says with a smile on his face.
Excited. Big excites.
All right. So, there's a couple of things that have happened as far as story developments go. Everyone's ready to begin. You guys, thumbs up, good to go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Thumbs up.
Okay, cool, awesome. So a couple of things have happened. A lot of different arcs and paths that you're all able to take. It has been, I would say, a week's time now since your fight against the cult that was trying to bring forth Cosmikara into the world of Io. The battle itself, I will let you know, was successful. Everyone able to do their phases to the best of their ability with the utmost success. With the final section, which Kyron and Leighton was a part of, the fight against an insidious parasite that infected the body of Cosmikara as this body begins to slowly descend down into the earth. With the defeat of the parasite, the body of Cosmikara essentially slowly evaporated from the sky as everyone was able to teleport back to the surface. As you all look over to the sky, you will now see that it has a new visible thing that has people a little concerned. The sky itself appears as if it were a fabric that had been ripped. A tear is now visible within the cloud lines in the skies. No matter the time of day, whether a day or night, you can see that in clear crystal view, a starry sky, along with a radiant red, deep red sun. The sun itself, I would like to point out, typically in your eyes, always looked like the sun of our world, essentially, where if you look up in the sky, it's just a little bright, it's a bright gaseous ball of light. But with this tear and the sun now visible, you see the sun for what it truly is, this deep red nova in the sky. What's also been alarming, and I think what would disturb Kyron a little bit, as she would know exactly what it is, you would see occasionally from behind the nova, or sometimes orbiting, what appears to be a corpse of a giant floating within the sky. The corpse itself severed, with its head visible, an outline, a shadow, tentacles drape down the head. And that you at that point realize and know that this thing has been within either the sun's orbit or Io's orbit for quite some time at this point. Kyron, you know exactly what this is, the dead planet of Cosmo, which you visited with the Astral Academy, now visible at any time during the day. If it orbits past The tear itself, you can't see it anymore. And some theorize, those of a studious nature, either in astrology or arcana, would take note that the cloud itself was more of an illusion, a barrier, if you will. Now that the rip is visible, now that the sky tear has been made, you can see truly what's out there and the horrors that hover above Io. So, within that week's time, it has brought a bit of the kingdoms into a small bit of panic, wondering what the heck this visible tear is, while others attempt to live their life as normal. As I'd mentioned, a week has passed. 1 second. Let me go ahead and pull something up. You are currently within the Kingdom of Brisbane on the continent of Ishtar. One of the senators of Brisbane have taken an interest in you and your adventurous ways, and have invited you to a dinner. Senator Awig, specifically. He wishes to discuss, he wishes to, at the very least, serve a dinner for you all as a way of saying thanks, but more importantly, discuss what needs and what would be an appropriate reward for a threat that the kingdom did not know about. So, with that, you would be invited to this dinner. Of course, you are more than welcome to refuse if you so wish. But he seems eager to learn more of your adventures, how exactly you got about this point, but more importantly, what the Kingdom of Brisbane could do for you as a form of payment, as a form of reward for what you have given, what you have offered, and what you have sacrificed. During that week, I will also let you know that of those that have survived the cult fight, the primary one being MasaeAnela, knocked unconscious in the battle. She would at that point have been detained and arrested by the Kingdom of Brisbane, and essentially sent to a specifically a made prison for magical offenders that suspend all magical power within the sacred ground. Luna, if you so desire, you would be permitted to visit if you so wish. That would be your option at that point if you do decide to visit or not. But those are the two things that are primarily happening within the weeks past. An invite to a dinner from a senator, as well as the ability to visit MasaeAnela if you have questions or wish to acquire more knowledge from her. Or you are simply able to depart. It is up to you what you all would like to do. I shall leave it to you now.
So we're still all the way across the Serpent Smile.
That is correct.
And we never checked out like the library and all that we
haven't been to the actual academy yet.
That is correct.
Okay.
We're still at the old academy site.
Everything went down.
That is correct. A week has passed. You would have been invited to the Kingdom of Brisbane. If you do so decide to bypass all that to visit the academy, you're more than welcome to do so. I will need some time just to import the map, but other than that, you are free to do that if you so wish.
Yeah, I was just mostly just making sure I knew where we stood.
Of course.
Wait, how were we informed that the Kingdom of Brisbane really wants to like hang out with us?
Well, so at the end of the battle, what's the word? Essentially, a small squadron of Brisbane soldiers were sent to the old academy after seeing a giant corpse, tentacly corpse, colliding down into the ground. Thank you. Yeah. So essentially, a squad of soldiers headed to the old academy, essentially, Brisbane itself has a variety of strongholds to kind of keep order. One of the strongholds of soldiers would have went over to the old academy to see that. At that point, they would have met up with all of you, as well as Kyron and Leighton, specifically to thank them for what they had done at that point. And you would have been offered sanctuary, you would have been offered rest, but more importantly, you would have been asked to stay, if possible, to inquire exactly what had happened. You take into the fact that the Kingdom of Brisbane was not aware of these activities, specifically of this giant abomination that was colliding down to the ground. So that is essentially all Brisbane knows about it. You they saw the terror colliding, they saw it defeated, but that's all they know of it. So it's more of a polite inquiry, as well as a way to reward you for your services that were rendered without asking, since Brisbane believes in paying their debts. Does that answer your question?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, cool. So with that, a week has passed. Ultimately, up to you what you'd like to do at this point. You've been invited to a dinner. You are able to visit the jail cell if you wish to inquire more of Melira. You can head over towards the academy to try and gather more information from a library of books, or you can depart. But as mentioned before, Brisbane is interested to learn more of what has happened and what you all have done.
What do we know about this senator guy?
The senator specifically?
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. I know there's a skill for that.
Yeah, I definitely want to roll on that. Especially if I've been out here for like a few years of my life.
Well, so you've been out here for a few years of your life, but primarily in the academy.
Yeah.
Sorry, 1 second. Okay, go ahead and give me an investigation check. There we go.
Nope.
And Armstrong, feel free to give me one as well. Hey, there you go. If you wish to inquire more knowledge of the senator, you are free to do so. That is a meditate. I need you to make an investigation check.
Oops.
You're good.
Investigate.
All right. So within, I'll have to take your 6 first, Leighton.
That's fine. It wasn't working on mine, that's why I did it twice.
Oh, no worries. Armstrong. All right, 1 second. Actually get something here. As you inquire about... Let me go ahead and set the atmosphere. Womp bam.
Ooh.
So, if you are specifically looking for more information about the senator, you would have been invited over to the Kingdom of Brisbane. Let me look for one more thing. My apologies. I know I specifically have a picture. Ah, there we go. There we go. I could at the very least set the scene of the area. Oh, I see what I did. Sorry. Alright. I will just go ahead and stretch this out real quick. Okay. Just so at least you have a visual representation of where you are. There we go. All right.
Nice.
So, within the Kingdom of Brisbane itself, as you would have arrived over at that point in time, you would have crossed over the Brisbane Lake itself, where plenty of fishermen. Brisbane itself, definitely's main trade is the fish of the lake that it has as well as a variety of ports over in the eastern Brisbane ports. The town itself, from the gathered information you would have gotten, Leighton, seems to be well lived itself, but at some points poorly maintained. As you can actually, within the lower sections of the streets of lower Brisbane, you can go ahead and smell the sort of like, if depending on when you arrive in the morning, you could kind of smell more of like a swampy, a little bit of stench of excrement from those that are dumping out, just their waste and things like that. The utilities itself within Brisbane have not been super well in control, but it's still able to be living at that point. You would have all arrived over in the upper quarters of Upper Brisbane, which is completely a different environment, as the houses are not as crowded together. Manors scatter across the lands themselves. And it's just an absolutely beautiful place, as you'll actually see the dock of the airship docks arrive over there, which typically depart from the Academy back and forth between Brisbane, as well as the Exodus Academy. So the higher end is where you probably would have gathered some more information, potentially even have stayed at that point in time, if you were invited over here to Brisbane. The senator itself that you wish to speak to has a manor outside the walls of Brisbane itself, kind of more in a forested area. You've learned that Senator Awig himself, or Senator Awig himself, is a quiet man that keeps to himself, does what needs to be done, and overall, I'd say an above average senator. Not incompetent, not heroic or eager, but gets the job done. You would have actually learned with your investigation check of 17, Armstrong, that Senator Awig is a hunter in nature. Prefers to hunt game within the swamp. Not the swamp, excuse me, within the forest itself, and then have his servants and chefs prepare for meals that he gathers himself.
Interesting. We should bring Nicholas.
If you wish to bring Nicholas along, you are more than welcome to. Although the invite only extends to you all, not Nicholas or any member of your crew.
What are they gonna tell us?
What?
No? Let's
Yeah,
tell
that's
them.
too bad.
Messed up.
That's fucked up.
Well,
It's part of our crew.
you are more than welcome to bring, if you so wish. That is That's up to you. You're just gonna bring Nicholas along. That's fine. So
Gonna invite us to some fancy fucking meal and not let us have a +1, dude. That's fucked up.
Yeah, we saved the fucking world. What the fuck, man?
I'm sorry, you can't have dinner because you bought a.
Well, just to reiterate, you aren't being told you can't bring anyone else. The invite has only been extended to you guys. So if you bring someone along, you're more than welcome to do that. There definitely hasn't been a declined nature of like.
All right,
that.
so here's the plan. We bring Nicholas. They say no. We leave.
Mhm.
Simple as that.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. So are you going to the dinner now?
We
Is
will
that what-
only go to the dinner if we can bring
God.
Nicholas. If we can't bring Nicholas, we won't go.
All right then. You would arrive over
Right?
at the
Right, team? I'm not just making
Yeah,
that
no,
call.
I mean,
Okay.
if
I don't want to. I
if
don't.
they
I
turn
don't
us
wanna,
away, we'll tell them.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Yeah.
No.
I'm just to set the picture. If we're like walking up to do this,
Yeah.
Alice looks, for all intents and purposes, like the kid who got dragged along and really does not want to go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, very well. You would arrive outside the walls of You would leave the walls of Brisbane over to the forested area, as mentioned before. You see what appears to be almost like a stronghold of some kind, living within the nature itself. 2 guards would stop you at that point to ask your business. And one of them would recognize who you were and allow you in. As you begin to cross there, I think one of the guards would specifically ask about Nicholas. And who's he?
That's our ship master chef. We're hoping he can learn a few culinary delights from the Senator's own cooks and chefs.
I'm going to go ahead and do a little roll. The guard shrugs along and says, I don't think it'll be an issue, but you'll have to allow me to follow you through. Ultimately, it's up to the Senator. But, I don't think he'll mind.
Aye, sounds good.
So, at that point, I shall take you over. You'll be guided through the stronghold itself, over to, over to the dining hall, where Senator Awig shall greet you. Okay. Let me go ahead and get everyone's tokens, which I thought I had, but I guess I don't. We've got, all right. Players. And you will be bringing Nicholas along. As you invite Nicholas over in the misdemeanor, Wood Gnome would perk up a little bit. Where y'all going?
We're going for a walk.
Ugh.
Yes, a boring old walk.
Yeah.
With lots of sweating and exercise.
No. You guys enjoy. I'll watch the ship, as always.
Are you sure? You're more than welcome to come with us.
No.
All right,
That just sounds...
Great, thank you.
Great, thank you.
We're counting on you to keep the ship safe, Wood Gnome.
Yeah, you do that. You take your time, or don't. I'll just... And you'll just see him walk back to your room at that point. Armstrong. Door closed.
He's just face palming.
Luna kind of leans in and is like, what is he doing there?
He plays pretend.
Sort of glad that I don't know.
All right.
You do know that it's strange that you don't actually keep him from going in there. You just let him live in there.
There's not much I can do about it.
He's literally half my size.
I could.
How about you beat him up for me, Alis?
I'll do it.
Alis will gesture to her like, see, problem solved.
I'm pretty sure at this rate, Kyron can just eat Wood Gnome and no one would know the difference.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Well, that's up to you. I say 3 words to Wood Gnome and I immediately have a headache. So I'd just rather not deal with it.
We could send Wood Gnome to this really awful luncheon, and I could stay on the ship.
You know, boy, if you don't want to go, you could just stay behind.
Wonderful. I'll do that. He like turns around to get back on the ship.
I don't really want to go talk to some blown up politician either. But here we are.
There's food there.
Yeah, free food.
Who cares about what they say? We're getting fed.
And it might be
They might have a
fancy
library.
food, too.
What was that? What was that, Sterling?
Well, they might have a library. So you could inquire and about getting more books.
Leighton
Ayla's-
gives like a fatherly like to Aylis.
Just like kind of half-heartedly glares at Sterling, but realizes he's probably right and they probably do have a library. Fine, but I'm not going to like it.
Oh, just be like a real pirate. Take some of your empty books here and just replace them with the food ones in their library.
Aylis's eyes get huge and he runs
Stealing?
back onto the ship and grabs a bunch of books.
Oh my gosh.
Now that's devious.
Dude, Aylis is such a pirate.
All right. So, after going through the stronghold itself, filled with the walls themselves filled with hunting trophies and sort of a darkish decor of an older stronghold, you would arrive over into the dining hall, where you'd be greeted by the senator. Well, let me go and take you over there. Well, boom. As you're walking through, the guard will also continue to escort you through the area, mentioning to Senator Awig specifically that an extra guest has been asked of the pirates. Senator, they wish to bring someone else. Would you permit this? He nods easily and says, for the heroes of Brisbane, and whatever they need. Greetings, salutations, each and every one of you. He extends a hand out to whoever will take it. Probably to at this point, to the eldest of the crew, simply assuming that he is either the fatherly figure or the patriarch of everyone. I am Senator Edwin Awig. A pleasure to meet you.
Captain Cornelius Armstrong, at your service.
Pleasure. This must be your first mate, then. He'll look over to Leighton.
I'm assistant to the captain.
I am also a captain, Captain Leighton Beardthrone. Thank you very much.
Oh, I see. Assistant to the captain, Captain Leighton. A pleasure to meet you.
No, I am a captain as well. I'm not an assistant to anyone.
Oh, I understand. And you, young man. He'll extend a hand. Pleasure to meet you.
Aylis will reach out and take his hand. I'm Aylis, navigator and quartermaster on the ship.
Quite a young quartermaster you have there, Captain Leighton. Or Captain Armstrong.
Aye, well,
Shifty eyes.
he was given the crash course, quite literally.
Oh, well, I suppose it's good to learn more about life and roughing it a little bit. I actually was taught to hunt at a very early age. The younger you can start with your passions, the better. Good on you, boy. He'll pat you on the shoulder. And what of
Aylis will try not to look super uncomfortable.
and the rest of you? Oh, my apologies. He'll point over to Sterling. And what of your name, sir?
Oh, yes. Well met. I'm Captain Sterling Smiles. I just journeying with the crew at the moment.
We have a lot of captains in our crew.
A sort of brigade, if you will. That's fascinating. And what of you, young? And at that point, he will kind of close his eyes a little bit to squint over at Kyron to study her a bit more.
Kyron squints back.
Kyron, how old are you?
Kyron.
We've talked about this a
Wow.
couple of times.
Yeah, and I've never actually completely made up my mind, but she's like around 30.
Okay, so like adult, essentially.
Yeah, she's adult.
Adult proper. So you see him say young, and he stops and he goes, "Oh, halfling. Ghostwise, I believe."
Good eye.
It's very good to be studious.
She just retches.
He sees you retch, and he says, "I just meant in general, nothing wrong of that. Anyways, and
Duty is great, wonderful.
And you are, ma'am.
Me? Sorry. Luna Fiera Kelmitore. Pleased to meet you.
Yes, and pleased to meet you. But I didn't get your name. Looking back at Kyron.
She scrunches her nose a bit and says, Kyron, resident muscle of the ship. Thank you very much.
Oh, I see. Very well. Pleasure to meet each and every one of you. I don't mean to keep you within these drafty halls. Please, allow me to show you to the dining hall. He'll turn around.
Heck yeah!
And begin to...
she runs ahead.
Someone's hungry. And he'll look over to the cards.
Perpetually.
Double servings for young Kyron. Thank you. And he will walk through at this point.
Alis will look back at Nicholas and, like,
Nicholas
Come
is
on,
just...
then.
Yeah, Nicholas just kind of is like right there in the corner trying to keep his distance. Doesn't want to be a bother.
How do you, like, look at what these... Is there anything interesting about these weird lights or statues?
You're free to make an investigation check if you'd like.
They both lead to secret rooms with bodies.
Nicholas will mutter under his breath to Alis, and it's like, didn't seem very interested to know my story or who I was.
Be glad. He's
I
just looking to
wouldn't.
find people to use.
You also
Aye.
talk to all the older gentlemen first.
Oh, I suppose
Is
that's
the
a
food
good
out
thing.
yet?
No, it's not. It literally.
Kyron's slamming on the table.
Kyron's just sitting like a little kid that has their bib on, like ready to eat.
Kyron's doing that.
Yeah, with the utensils. Come
Yep.
on.
Yep, yep.
The senator looks a bit perturbed. It says, "The food should be out here shortly. I'm sure we can serve some hors d'oeuvres if you'd like.
Yes, please.
I have some. Excuse me." He'll clap now at a bit of a panic. Just watching Kyron just continue to panic on the table. Would you please calm down, ma'am? We will get you fed.
Seeing how annoyed she like just watching her completely destroy the decorum of the situation fills Alis with so much glee that he immediately sits next to her.
I guess you could decide who sits at the end of the table. I see both captains trying to like figure out who's sitting at the head. I love that.
They definitely made uncomfortable eye contact for like 2 or 3 seconds.
Yeah.
You can both sit there.
Get real cozy on the edge of the
God.
Okay. So, at that point, one of the guards will come out with a plate, essentially of cheeses, placing them on the table. It looked like it was rushed and put together because of a...
Guards are serving the food? Oh my god. Incredible.
Mm-hmm. He will, you'll see the senator just kind of nod over. It says, I try to keep a very tight ship. While the guards themselves are served to protect me, I do have them double up on their tasks. This assists us with budgetary concerns. While other senators definitely enjoy to lavish their salary, I prefer to save as well as I can.
Well, that's rather prudent of you.
Well, it is the people's money after all, not necessarily mine. It's very good to keep things operational and whatever is unnecessary at this point. I mean, even the stronghold itself no longer had strategic importance, so I simply request to make it my own instead of a lavish manner that other senators decide to partake with their funding. Well, food shall continue to be on the way. I had someone else who wished to, actually wished to meet with you, and I figured it wouldn't have been too much of an issue. You'll actually see one of the guards walks in. She's here, Senator. Oh, good. Yes, please, bring her in. She had a great interest in you, and I couldn't deny her, especially her position as the Archmagister of the kingdom. You're in for quite a treat.
Do we know the Archmagister of the kingdom?
Well, what catches you off guard is the Archmagister was an elderly gentleman, and the fact that he said she has definitely let you know that there has been some shift. It isn't until
gotcha. Something has happened.
Yeah, it isn't until you actually look at the front that Alis, a pit in your stomach is formed, as you see the headmaster of the Exodus Academy walk in.
I knew that was gonna happen, dude.
I should have stayed on the ship.
I should have stayed on the fucking ship. I knew. Alis, the second that she comes in, Alis will tense up and make eye contact with Luna.
Sterling's gonna stand politely.
Just to, like, express to her, like, something's wrong.
Kyron feels the shift, and she glances between Alis and the headmaster. She's a little confused, but definitely tipped off.
Luna know anything about the headmaster, or just what she heard from Alis and Melira and stuff?
Just what she heard from Melira and Alis at this point. You would have never met this headmaster before.
Luna looks back at Alis and gets the idea that something's not right.
Yes, Archmagister Kronos. And you'll see the senator stand up and kind of give a bow.
Sterling stands up as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Armstrong too.
Luna doesn't.
Leighton does not get up.
There's like cheeses on the table, right?
Yeah, there's cheeses on the table.
Kyron will take a handful and stuff them into her mouth while she's staring.
God bless you, Kyron.
Like, oh, there's a distraction. Time to eat cheese.
Yeah.
Alis will, since everyone is like, since it would be so obvious if Alis didn't acknowledge her, Alis will take a deep breath and just look at her, because otherwise it'll be obvious that he isn't.
She smiles towards you. It's good to meet you all. Alis, good to see you again.
Headmaster?
Archmagister now, actually.
So I've heard.
I've heard of your travels as well. I have been looking forward to this dinner for quite some time. Senator, if you don't mind, I'd actually like to have the room with them first. Kingdom business, of course. The senator looks a little concerned and nods and says, I serve at the pleasure of Brisbane. Whatever you need. I will go ahead and see how the boar is cooking along then. And the senator at that point will leave and then mention, do you need the guards at all? And she'll shake her head and says, of course not. These are our esteemed guests. In fact, you may have not even realized, Senator, that one of the students of my glorious Exodus Academy is actually a part of this crew. The senator looks like amazed at this and looks over at the crew and kind of just points at Luna and points at Alis. And she nods and says, it would be good to catch up with them. He was one of my star pupils, and now here he is living his life. So, there's nothing to worry about, Senator. I don't need any form of protection. We're just going to have a little chat. Catch up on things. The senator nods.
Luna's eyes narrow a little bit.
Iron bristles.
Yeah, Alis's jaw is like clenched really obviously.
And the guard will leave the room, and the senator will head off into the kitchen to see how the boar is cooking along. She'll turn over with a smile on her face. It is a pleasure to meet each and every one of you. I suppose, Aelus's new guardians. He's shaped up into quite a young man in such a short time. She'll drag the chair and sit down and sort of just lean on the table, resting her head on one of her hands, looking at each and every one of you. As mentioned, I am Archmagister Kronos of the Kingdom of Brisbane, and it seems we are in quite a bit of in your debt for all that you've done. On behalf of the King of Brisbane, as well as myself, I want to thank you, each and every one of you, not only for taking care of some sort of extra-planar threat, but apparently discovering a sort of usurping within my ranks. And at that point, she will stand up and give you a courteous bow.
Don't mention it. Just doing our part to keep the world safe.
And she'll sit back down. Leighton?
Never mind.
Okay, you're free to say.
I didn't want to. No, Hunter's in the right. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm trying to schmooze, but I don't like her.
Yeah. So she smiles and looks over at everyone. And just as a silence falls over the room before she kind of glances over at Aelus. Aelus, what do you peer right now?
I think the longer that she talked, he's probably gotten into kind of a almost a resting pose of staring at the table, just to try and seem calm. But I think to everybody who knows him pretty well, he's obviously not.
As she looks around the room, you'll see her gaze go over to Aelus, and she makes an insight check of her own. She'll smile. She'll smile a little bit before reaching a hand out, almost to try and break Aelus's gaze.
Leighton quote unquote accidentally trips the chair that she's sitting in.
How does
You're
she
on the other side of the table.
Yeah, how do you trip the chair? It's literally like
she's right next to me.
No.
What? Oh no, she's not. But
what are you?
Yeah.
Then she has the plated cheese and she just slides it over really fast. Like, you want something to eat?
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, you wouldn't be able to reach to the chair. I do apologize about that.
Well, I figure if she's reaching across to Aelus, like.
I think on your roll 20, you're in a different place than on ours. I think there might be a bug.
So what she's doing, let me explain what she's doing again. She's just placing it, she's reaching out, just placing a hand of wherever Aelus is gazing, not necessarily attempting to grapple. All it is just a visual, like, trying to get his attention. You're free to stop the hand as much as you wish. But as far as like tripping the chair and things like that, you would literally have to like lean under the table at that point in time. Luna, you're free to throw the plate of cheese if you wish. It's entirely up to you what you guys like to do.
Yeah, I'd like to take the plate and just slide it across the table really quickly in that direction where she's reaching.
As you slide,
it was like jumps. There's so much going on right in front of him suddenly.
Yeah. So, the Archmagister.
You look like you'd like some cheese.
Yeah, the
Would you like some
Archmagister,
cheese?
in a gesture of just moving her hand, Luna immediately throws the plate of cheese across the table as it just slams against her hand. She looks over to Luna, a bit concerned, and says, No, thank you. I'm actually waiting for the main course. The cheese itself scatters across the table as she then just like lightly just pushes it over a little bit and looks over to Aelus one more time.
Aelus will sigh and look at her pretty calmly now. Say, whatever it is that you need to say, just say it.
She kind of gives like she arches her eyebrow a little bit, almost like a curious expression, And she says, young man, do you think you're in some sort of trouble with me?
He'll look very defensive now. Trouble? I'm not under your jurisdiction anymore, if you haven't noticed.
She nods. Oh, I acknowledge that, my dear. You were never under any sort of jurisdiction, I suppose. But you were my responsibility. And then a smile will appear over her face. I'm just happy that you're alive and well. Well, that's...
Luna makes like a weird grumbly noise under her breath.
That's all I really cared about.
You don't seem to be giving that vibe, friend.
I apologize, and you are?
Oh, me? You want to know about me? You don't want to know anything about me. Let it be clear, friend. The boy is a man and doesn't need you or anyone to tell him otherwise.
Face planting. Got his head in his hands now. Like, oh god.
Yeah, her smile widens a little bit before a chuckle goes under her breath. She's like, of course he's a young man.
Oh, of course he is, but I want to point something out. If the young boy was your responsibility, where have you been all this time,
She will at that point close her eyes, the smile fade from her face, and said, truth be told, in all honesty, I didn't know where he was. She'll look back up at Leighton. All we were aware of, or at least of my knowledge, is that he went into the depths of the academy and then disappeared without a flash.
Insight check.
Absolutely. Oh, she's lying through her teeth.
So I'm just gonna sit there and smile and listen.
26!
She'll at that point look up and said, of course we've been trying to find him, and I feared he may have been presumed dead. But I am greatly relieved to see him alive. That's all I really care about. Also, keep in mind that this insight check specifically is Sterling's, not necessarily your own. So try not to use anyone's meta information.
No, of course.
From what I heard, you were aware that he was out here, and you didn't want us specifically to go to where you were until certain things were finished. That's what I heard.
She looks over at Luna and said, that's what you've heard? A concerned expression goes over her face. How did you come across this information?
I had a talk with somebody in your circle.
She raises an eyebrow. Who exactly?
Who do you think it was?
Well, if I were to theorize, it may have been with that greatly disturbed Melira, who is currently imprisoned by Brisbane officials. The usurper.
Oh.
Is that correct?
Yes. Though I don't know that she was acting independently of you. I don't have any reason to think that.
She nods at that point in time and it just lets out a sigh and says, I could understand and I could understand and rationalize that could be your belief. All I could do is offer you my word that I had nothing to do with whatever she was planning. In fact, her actions greatly disturbed me.
Insight check?
You're free to.
Of course.
Yeah, go on,
God,
Sterling.
these insight checks are just fucking cheesy tasty.
Yeah, she is being deceitful, Luna. Sterling?
That's interesting, yeah.
Of course. You can't expect the Archmagistra to be involved. Of course not. It's not that she is the most powerful, or in the most powerful position as a wizard in the entirety of this kingdom. Not that she was closely working with these teachers and these people in the academy. How could possibly, she be involved?
A frown will go over her face, and she sighs, and I think I understand what you're getting at, sir, and within the privacy of this table, I do recognize that I had failed in my responsibilities.
Yes. Now, I like smoke and mirrors as much as anyone. It's always a good fun bit of games to play, a game of lie and chance. But I must say to you right now that we're in privacy here. We know you're full of shit. And quite frankly, it'd be quite fun if we could just get straight to the point. You were involved. You knew about the child Alis and where Alis was. You've been lying through your teeth. See, you're good at magic. I'm good at seeing through people. What I would like to know is what exactly you need with us now. We defeated your initial plans. Cosmicana has been defeated. Well, what are you going to go back to now? You're going to try and find a new world to conquer? A new land to invade? Perhaps some evil orchestra you have behind the scenes. Go ahead, get past the old shenanigans of the smoke and mirrors and let's just get straight to the point, shall we? Because that pork is smelling rather good, and I'd rather not talk about this whilst we're eating.
Luna smiles.
Alyssa's staring at Sterling like he is just godly.
Chiron is also very impressed.
She closes her eyes for a moment, and the smile of her face, the smoke and mirrors, the mask, falls off. As you just see her mouth kind of revert to a neutral expression. Her eyes open up to Sterling, and a gruff voice comes out of her mouth.
You're very good, sir. Needless to say, I've been dealing with noblemen for quite some time, and I suppose when it comes to the typical ruffian, I'm not used to such things. Very well. Trying to fool you with certain things would be pointless at this point. Yes?
Of course.
Her kind of pristine mode at that point, she just kind of like leans back on her chair, and just like I said, an expressionless face. As she turns over to everyone, looks over at Alis, and then looks back at Luna with a smile.
Happy to see that you're doing well. You're probably the one I'm most surprised about.
Looking at Luna this time.
Why are you surprised?
Don't recognize my voice. I suppose it has been about 50 or 60 years at this point.
Luna looks confused and she's just trying to size up the person.
Go ahead and make an insight check.
Insight check. Ooh.
With a 9, the voice does seem familiar, but you can't put a finger on it.
I have never heard this voice come out of her, correct?
That is correct.
Ayla's looks fucking confused.
Luna just looks back. I'm sorry, I don't think I know you.
Well, I was there the day it happened. I suppose it was my failing as the headmaster of that old academy.
And at that point, you recognize the voice as who was the headmaster of your academy at that point in time before the attacks.
What's their name?
It was a gentleman who. Hold on one second.
That's fucked up, dude. He put his own son in a book?
Yep.
Wait, what?
You can share it, Joe, if you want.
In our campaign, the one of the boys, Nigel, had a lot of day magic in them, and we kind of had to stop them from kind of turning into like an amalgamation. And when we brought him over to the headmaster, a sweet little boy called Nigel, she turned him into a book and kept him as a book.
Oh.
Turns out he was
right.
related to the old headmaster. Parental advice. Don't get them from this person.
No.
Weird.
So, hold on one second. I apologize. Okay. Yeah, go on.
In the meantime, Alis would be looking between Luna and the headmaster, so confused, and say, wait, are you the headmaster or not? I'm so confused now.
Yes, boy, I am indeed the headmaster. I've always been the headmaster. When the old academy, as we like to call it now, was under attack by those day savages, it was a failure of the headmaster, and thus Brisbane decided to solve it simply by firing the previous headmaster and what's the word? Exiling him from Brisbane. Oh, I couldn't have any of that. Too much work needed to be done. And so, under the guise of Instructor Kronos, I created a new academy. The Exodus Academy, if it were, so that we may continue our studies and advancement of all arcane kind. You see, kingdoms and magicians like to work within limits. They have a code of ethics that they prefer to work on. Me, I prefer to muddy the barrier just a little bit, which is, of course, is frowned upon. But oh, the advancements of magics that the Exodus Academy has found over these past 50 years.
Luna's very confused. She's so. Your headmaster. You were my headmaster. You were the same. She's just very confused. She's trying to figure out, is it actually the same person that was Alis's headmaster and the same one at the old academy?
Yep. Essentially, your academy was led by a headmaster, which kept everything in order, but also had an elite few of magicians that he kept close by for the betterment. Nothing so like nefarious that you've ever witnessed, but essentially he kept like an allegiance of elves and things of that nature for like private classes and studies for further there. This is Headmaster Valianceworth. I'll type the name as well.
Headmaster Valianceworth.
Yes.
Well, so when the attack happened, you were in the building that crumbled. Who else? Are you the only one that survived from there?
Oh. No, fortunately, I'd say about, what was the final number? 16 of us survived, specifically those that were under my employ, those that were within my class. Everyone else, well, the attack happened so suddenly. I had to choose who to teleport out, and it was whoever was within my class at the time. You share the same blood as Melira, so I am, in all intents and purposes, thankful that you're still alive. But you would rather we get down to business, is that correct, sir?
She'll look over to Sterling.
Well, it'd be preferable.
Very well.
Boy. She'll look back at Alis.
Yes.
I brought something for you. Since you
I don't want it.
I think you do, young man. I think you do. Since you went through a lot of effort to leave the academy. Specifically, your papers. The ones that document you to me. Under the adoption of the academy. How would you like your freedom? How would you like to never hear from me again?
Of course I want that, but you want something in return, obviously.
Obviously. And you are, well, you and your crew, the heroes of Brisbane, the murderer of Cosmokara, seem to be very well capable of it. So, we can continue to bump heads and make each of our lives very difficult. Or, I task you to do one job for me, and then you'll have my word that you'll never hear from me again.
Your word isn't worth much when you enter this conversation lying through your teeth.
Well, it's good to know who I'm dealing with. You don't just walk into a room and throw your cards on the table. How do you think I've become an Archmagister? Through honesty, please. But it's good to know who I'm dealing with, and when it comes to pirates, and as this one has pointed out, you'll see her just kind of like gesture over to Sterling. You're someone that prefers tact and honesty. So be it. I've given you everything that you need to know about me. You are one of the few people that know my actual identity. And in that, in my hopes, that you'd be willing to understand that if I offer you one final job, that I'll be out of your hair forever. With Melira imprisoned, someone needs to answer for it. And Instructor Kronos, they'll motion themselves, will pay those crimes. The Exodus Academy will be closed for a year as we decide to search for a new headmaster. And as
obviously.
At that point, you literally see them smile.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. And of course,
I roll.
And now, of course, a new Archmagister will need to be placed in charge. You see, Headmaster Kronos, or Archmagister Kronos at this point, is a very willing person for the Kingdom of Brisbane. So, I'll step down as Archmagister. I'll also step down as the Exodus Academy's headmaster. It'll be in a bit of a scatter, of course, but the Academy will live again. One day, in the future, maybe in a different kingdom. But I need one more thing before I move on to the next venture.
Fine, get on with it then. What is it?
So, for those that knew or did not know, perhaps witnessed, myself and my disciples, we have extracted a source of power that is essentially the blood of a dead god known as Div. We call this day magic. We are, in need of one more extraction, specifically the source of day that is here in Brisbane. And I would like to task you all in extracting it for us. You successfully get the blood of Div, bring it back to me. You've earned your freedom. I will see it at that point that as registered by the Kingdom of Brisbane, you're your own man, your own adult. As for the rest of you, I'm sure you'll want some sort of monetary compensation. I can provide you with gold, parcels of land. My last favor asked as Archmagister of Brisbane.
What do you need with the div?
That was the whole reason we fought Melira, so that they wouldn't be able to get more power from deities. Like, why would we do this kind of contract for you? This makes no sense. I don't even think you have any claim over Alis at this point. Not after what happened with Maelira and what you guys have done.
Are you saying that out loud, or are you saying that as yourself?
Out loud.
Okay.
We still very much have a claim over Alis. He is adopted under the Exodus Academy of Brisbane. If the Exodus Academy is dissolved, then I become de facto guardian.
Alis has like a brief flash of like a distraught look on his face.
Do you really think you still have a claim after what Maelira did? I feel like if the Exodus Academy gets dissolved, none of the old contracts would carry over. I find this highly suspect.
No, not exactly. As underneath the Exodus Academy, the laws are very stringent. He is effectively, in all intents and purposes, property of the Exodus Academy. I would also want to make sure that the boy is well taken care of if the Exodus Academy were to be dissolved at that point in time.
What exactly would you do about it if he didn't come back? I don't think you can enforce this at all. Not with the waning power of everything. You saw what we did to Maelira.
Legally, I can enforce whatever I want. I am still the Archmagister of this kingdom. And if you were to leave, Alis would always have to look behind his shoulder.
You seem to misunderstand something, little man. Pirates always be looking over their shoulder. Whether it's you or Div or a gigantic baby, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that
Something,
sounds par for the course.
Something you might be unaware of course, is that actually Alis spent some time in the astral. What was quite a brief time for you was actually a couple of years for Alis. Alis is an 18-year-old man now.
Aye, there's also something to be said about adoption and responsibilities of being a guardian. See, according to the Pirate Code 42-2, if a unclaimed young boy is unclaimed for more than a year, the boy can do whatever he wants. And as far as I'm concerned, the boy came to our island, our continent, and our rules. And where were you coming to claim the boy? If anyone has claim of the boy, it is me and only me.
You wouldn't allow him back again to his homeland, which seems pretty negligent to me. I don't think you have any ground to enforce anything.
You may be one of the worst guardians I've ever met.
Here.
Instructor Krotos smiles and says,
Very well. Do with as you wish. If you believe this claim is pertinent and that you're able to do that, you're free to do so. But I promise you that Brisbane will try and claim back one of its citizens that will have unfortunately been kidnapped by pirates. See, your pirate...
At your div blood.
See, your pirate's code means nothing to the Kingdom of Brisbane.
And your laws mean nothing to us. We are not of Brisbane, and we are not of the Exodus Academy, and we do not recognize the validity of some pieces of paper that you're trying to use as leverage.
Don't that you need us. You wouldn't have asked for blood.
And last I checked, these pirates, these lowly pirates that you think of so slowly for you, are the heroes of Brisbane. So let's go ahead and try the heroes of Brisbane.
Especially since you are representing the failure of Brisbane yourself.
Ultimately, it's Alis's decision.
Intimidation doesn't work on us if you haven't noticed. You don't have that power over us. Not after everything that's happened.
Intimidation? I'm speaking facts at this point. But, as you'd mentioned, probably the one of you that is not as heated as the rest of you, ultimately it's up to the boy. I'm willing to give you a deal. Get you out and get you paid at the same time.
You think us pirates want to pay?
Alis will look at Armstrong in a way that is very much a crew member looking for permission from a captain.
Oh yeah,
And,
he gives the look.
And he'll nod back, and he'll look at who he knows to be Headmaster Kronos and say, "No deal. I'd rather not give you any power for the rest of my life, if I'm being honest."
A shame, but I suppose something that couldn't be avoided. Very well. As an honorable gentleman, I shall leave you here with a fine meal. But
Please join us.
I'm afraid not. Business over at the kingdom. We have to deal with a traitor amongst our midst. You know, politics. But thank
Ironic
you.
politics.
Always is. Enjoy your meal.
As you just see Instructor Kronos get up at that point in time. And will smile before saying,
I'm sure we will see each other again very soon.
Hopefully not.
Hey,
We're counting on it.
hey, Brett, above board,
yes.
since we are pirates, do we have the ability to steal?
Define steal.
Like sleight of hand, trickery?
I mean, anyone can slide a hand. You're more than welcome to.
Because I think Leighton would want to try to like.
Again with the chair argument.
No, I'm not gonna be like, wait. I wanted to try and apologize to the headmaster, but then steal the papers from the headmaster at the same time.
I mean, you are free to do so if you'd like to get up at this point.
I'll give it a shot. Why not? Let's see what happens.
Of course, once he's dead, I'm gonna stop.
What did you say, Joe?
Oh wait, before she's about to leave, I'll say something.
Oh, okay. Up to you in what order you'd like to do it.
You do the steal first.
Sure. Headmaster, I apologize. I care for the boy very much. I shouldn't say boy, a man. And you have to understand that we've been through a lot. Family's not even a good word to describe what the boy means to us. No hard feelings. Leighton puts his hand out for a handshake.
Go ahead and give me a deception check.
A deception check?
Yes, please.
Oh God, this is not good.
Ooh.
Oh.
Give me another deception check. We will re-roll. Because essentially,
You're tied.
you're tied. We're tied.
Oh, I'm not gonna roll better than that. I have -1. Oh, 19. There you go.
That is two critical hits at that point. Oh my freaking god! I need another re-roll because with two crits.
Dude, get out of here.
Yep. You both critted. So.
Oh.
27.
Yeah, that's about
oh
right.
my god. Fuck.
That sucks.
As you walk over to extend a hand, you will see the instructor look down to it and look over to your face and chuckle a little bit.
And here I thought the time for smoke and mirrors were over.
Before turning over and continuing to walk away.
Oh, and headmaster. You really should have tried the cheese when you were offered. It's said it gives you nightmares, and I can assure you that you need not worry about the cheese doing that, because these pirates will be haunting your dreams for the next few years to come, if you last it long.
Make an
I'm
insight
gonna
check.
miss Sterling.
Leighton's eyes, like he smiles and his eyes glow a little green for a hot minute, and then he goes to sit back down.
The instructor, trying to hide it with a smile at this point, it definitely seems struck and annoyed as you have successfully shaken this individual before they continue to leave.
Well, who's hungry?
Alis will get up and immediately start pacing.
Luna kind of gets up and goes
All
over
right.
to him. Alis, I don't know, maybe it's the pirate talking in me, but I don't think they can enforce this. When they did something so bad, you know, when Melira broke all those rules, I think even for academy laws, I don't think they would be able to enforce this at that point.
Luna. He's kind of like faltering for words. He's just a bit like shaken. I mean, she was terrible. Honestly, just. And it wasn't even. I'm so confused.
Luna kind of puts her hand on Alis's back and is like, "It's okay. I know there was a lot of crap going on behind the scenes, and how are you feeling right now? Are you afraid of what could happen?" Or she kind of waits for him to respond.
No, of course not. He kind of like glances over at the table, says, "We can handle anything, right?"
Right.
He'll nod a little.
I mean, if
No,
we took down
I-
Melira.
I
feel like
believe
Take a
with
space
all my
station
heart
or
that
anything.
I think that at least Leighton would kill just about anyone for any of us. It's just seeing her again just shook me is all.
Oh. I understand. It's just tied to so many things, and I can only imagine how she treated you or mistreated you that made you want to leave. Well,
Want those papers though, and like kind of stroppily like walk back and forth again. Can I still get them?
Alis, if
I
you
just-
want those papers, we'll get them for you.
I hate knowing that they exist.
Mm.
But you're right. It's honestly not important.
It's symbolic, right? It's like you want to be rid of it. You don't want them to have any shred of evidence or any symbol that they had any control over you. I get it.
He'll nod.
Mm.
Yes, it's that.
Maybe we could get it. I mean, while we're here, you know, maybe we could sneak in and just, you know, tear them up. I'll do it if you want me to.
He'll laugh a little. I know you would. Thank you. No, it's not important. There's more important things. I mean, we're trying to keep a squid child from spying on us, and one of us is missing a soul. There's other stuff to be worried about.
Luna, if you're proposing a heist, well, I'm all on board.
I love a good heist.
Funny you should mention Armstrong's soul, because this kind of stuff, it gets him real fired up.
I think these
Look,
papers are more important to you than you're letting on. And you should be rid of it once and for all.
Just a thought, but should we really be discussing this here?
She kind of looks toward the door a little bit.
Good point.
A lot of what we pirates do, it is for, you know, it's a symbolic thing. Like, sure, we like gold and all that other stuff, but a lot of it is also just about, like, making a statement, you know? Right, Armstrong?
Aye. It's about giving your life meaning.
And if those papers symbolize control and repression and all that other stuff, I think we need to get rid of them.
Aelis's face is set in more of like a determined look, and he'll look at Armstrong. I want those papers.
And we're gonna get the bleeding papers.
He'll smile. All right then, a heist it is, I suppose. And
Do you think they're gonna poison our food?
if they were going to poison it, they would have done it already. It's already cooked.
True.
I wouldn't put it past that headmaster.
Ugh.
Aye, but the senator himself seems rather clueless about what has just happened.
Seems
You
the
can see
senator.
one of the guards to check.
The senator might be under some kind of spell or guise of the headmaster.
Perhaps we should tread carefully around him.
Aye.
Yo, how fucked up would it be if like the headmaster just I was invisible the entire time. Just kidding, just kidding.
Actually, sorry. Just
no,
as
please,
a final
please,
thing.
please go on. Spend as much time as you want talking, and after you guys finish, that's when the senator would come back.
I think, like, if there was a moment's pause, Alis would look at Sterling and say, "You know, it sounds like they're going to need a new headmaster there."
Headmaster? No. No. I prefer to keep my feet moving. Not so grounded, I suppose. I mean, maybe.
I don't know. It sounds like Captain Headmaster sounds like a pretty fun title.
Captain
But
Headmaster.
you want to be headmaster of a magic academy.
Oh no! He just gestures to Sterling.
Oh,
He meant that I'm a captain now.
I see.
I don't know. Perhaps I will. I want to look around Brisbane a little bit, actually. I was, just going to say to you all that I don't think I'll be getting back on the ship.
What?
Oh,
I appreciate your hospitality and saving me, of course. Freeing me from the stone, but like I said to you, I'd help with the Cosmicana thing, and I truly did feel like I found somewhat of family again. But and it is a lot of travel, a lot of fun, but I couldn't travel this far out when I was alone for those years. No other creature, not a butterfly, not a bird, not a spider, not a person, not anything was awake. I spent so many years of my life traveling around the place you found me, documenting everything. I didn't really get to spend time with people. You were the first people I spent time with in decades, many decades. I couldn't steer a ship across the sea. I'd probably have drowned alone out there. To be this far away from home is going to fill me with inspiration. I want to see it. I want to see the land. I want to document this place. This time I actually have people to speak to, instead of just the notes to keep me company. I don't want to necessarily leave you, but I also want to see as much of the world as I can.
I'm happy for the time we had you, Sterling.
Oh, I won't be long gone. I'll still try and keep in contact.
Gotta say, it'll suck not having you around. You're the smoothest talker here. You've
That's
gotten us
nonsense.
out of a couple of bad situations already, Sterling.
I don't think about that. I think I got them out of a couple of bad situations.
Damn right.
You're the
Sterling.
finest people I've ever known. in the past decade. Granted, the only people I know in the last decade, but damn fine. You see this?
You've sidestepped it a few times, but if this is potentially the last time we get to just sit and chat with you, will you tell us honestly, were you one of the heroes at the end?
Yes. I am. Don't like to use the term. I was more that storyteller that went along with them, actually. But yes, I was there. I was there the whole way. I was there when we were just fighting bandits on the road, up till we fought a great dragon made of void energy. I was there all the way to defeating a void star in Atlas and watching it rise into the sky as all those around me ascended and I did not. I was there for every damn minute of it.
That's incredible.
I did think so once, but honestly, it was just one story. Our story. One that I'll hold dear, but look at the misdemeanor. Look what you've achieved. Forget the heroes of the past. Too much time is spent looking at the past. Look at the present. All of you have defeated the most dangerous being this world has ever known. You're now thinking of breaking into one of the most dangerous places this land has ever known. You're just beginning your adventures. I have no doubt that in the next few decades, people will be remembering this crew far more than will be remembering our crew.
Well,
then
you'll
it's
always
settled.
be welcome aboard the misdemeanor.
Aye.
I appreciate that. Next time I see you, I'm sure you'll have a fleet.
Haha, well, we'll see about that.
As you wrap up your goodbyes with one more final meal, the senator will walk in, kind of with a faint smile on his face, nodding. Said, "Did you finish all your business with the Archmagister? She wished me adieu, and wished us a good dinner."
I believe our business is concluded.
Yep.
Wonderful. An absolute blessing. I find the Archmagister to be quite a delight.
Oh, she's a treat.
Is there anything that you all speak with when it comes to the senator at all?
No. I mean, if he like asks us to relay what we know about it, I guess we would want to discuss like, are we honest with him or not? I don't know why we wouldn't be, but
I don't know. Because if he's in on it, and then he knows that we know, then
Can we deception check this guy?
To be fair, if we just tell him we know, if he doesn't know, then he knows now, and if he knew before, he's probably going to know anyway once she tells him, right? Do we lose anything by telling him?
That's true.
We have to assume then at that point that this guy is just under her thumb. His thumb.
I think we just ask him.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's a good point.
During the second course, you all would be served a potato soup. Very hearty and creamy. Little bit salt and peppery. And yeah, you all be presented the soup, and he would just be sipping at that point in time, looking at everyone with a smile.
Kyron downs it.
How is your? Oh, okay. How's the food for the rest of you?
I'm not hungry.
Is the soup not to your liking? We could probably make something else.
No, it's fine. Let's just say that my stomach is tied in knots.
Kyron reaches over and takes his bowl.
Like slowly, just like you just hear the bowl dragging on the table across Aelis.
Yes.
In front of Aelis.
Yeah.
She just leans over.
He does not help. He just watches.
The senator
Anyone
nods.
else not hungry?
Oh, Senator, we must say to you, by the way, that we spoke with the headmaster.
Of course.
Oh, specifically, the old headmaster. And
he continues to sip.
Headmaster Valenworth did inform us that you are involved in his work, and we have come under, well, the same line of thought as Headmaster Valenworth. So we are on your side now going forth.
He looks over at you with an eyebrow raised and just says,
Valenworth? My word, why does that name sound familiar?
and he thinks to himself.
Insight check.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
You do not sense any deception from him. He seems genuinely confused.
That name is so familiar. What? Valenworth. You mentioned an old headmaster, is that correct? My dear lad, I'm afraid I don't know of a old headmaster Valenworth. Who is this individual?
Odd? Sorry. Did I say something? my old age. I apologize for that. I don't know what I was talking about. I love this. Good tomato soup.
It's potato.
Sorry. Oh, sorry.
Are you all right, sir?
Yes, sleepy.
He's just a little bit old. He's getting a little senile up there. Don't worry about it.
Kyron waves it off.
He gets a little confused once in a while. You should hear him at night.
The senator nods and just kind of like leans over to like put a leans over and just kind of like tries to reach out to Sterling's shoulder. They give it like a pat.
Huh?
Yeah,
Oh.
it's really rough on him.
And
Do
gives
you think
gives
you
him-
have any medicine?
he just gives Sterling like a knowing nod. Like, I get it, man.
I'm afraid once you get to a certain age, not much herbalism can do. I heard there were some clerics off to the east in an isolated island. They could probably do something with that. But it hasn't gotten that bad for me.
How? And he looks over to Sterling. He's like, "You're all right, though. You're aware of your faculties. You're where you are right now, my friend."
Yes, having a great time. Thank you.
He'll nod.
He'll forget in a bit. Don't worry.
A wash of sadness falls over his face as he just continues to sip at the soup.
Okay.
So there you go.
All right. I guess he don't know.
Take that as you will. The dinner will continue. Go on, please.
No, go ahead.
No. If there's something you want to say, absolutely say it.
Yeah, I mean, I was just going to bring up the contract that we had with the robot headmaster and just be like,
yeah, go for it.
So Leighton like reaches in his jacket and pulls out this really thick scroll and kind of gestures to it and goes, Senator, we don't really need anything at all. We are happy to have served like Leighton like purposely says Brisbane wrong. Brisbane, the way that they requested us to, and everything seems fine. But see, you could say that we're contracts for hire, if you will, and we have this contract that we fulfilled, and there's not really anyone out there who will fulfill the contract because they are no longer with us. So maybe there's a way that Brisbane can do something to perhaps fulfill our end of the contract, seeing that you guys do kind of owe us for our heroism and all that.
He'll reach over at that point to get the parchment.
Well, let's take a look then, shall we? I think some things that you need.
Do you hand the contract over to him?
I look over to Armstrong and kind of like be like, is this the right, like, are you okay with this kind of look?
Armstrong's just kind of giving you a look like, hey, do your thing, man.
Okay. And so he hands him the contract.
You're the contract guy.
He unfurls it and starts reading it. This is probably during the main entree where you would begin like seasoned boar, like slices of this sort of like ham, with some assortment of a vegetable medley at the side. And so
Karen leaves the vegetables alone and shovels the meat.
He continues to he'll read the contract and he'll be like, oh, all right. So let's see here. You need a magical quill. I suppose I could ask to see what that is exactly. My apologies. I'm not familiar with the various magics of the land, but I'm sure I could speak to an advisor about that. He raises an eyebrow to the next one. A tiny anvil. How tiny are we speaking exactly?
Like maybe a couple inches or so, like a figurine.
Oh, like an anvil figurine. All right. I suppose I could speak with a blacksmith about this.
It has to function as a normal anvil, even if it's tiny.
But make tiny weapons.
At that point, the senator will continue to read, recognizing the pirates sure are weird. A magical armament. What kind of armament are you looking for exactly?
Helpful things.
He kind of at this point like creaks his eyes a little bit, and it's just like a magical weapon of some sort, or like...
Yeah, sure, that works.
Weapons, armors, amulets, scepters.
Right.
Blessings.
Okay. Well, this one just says a boon of power. I don't know exactly. This seems very open-ended.
You wrote a boon of power?
I look, we know it seems open-ended, and that's all right. We're just looking for some of these particulars to be fulfilled. Whatever you have
what does conjuration of food education credit mean? Do you even know what this is?
All right, that's what we do
just
know.
Dies a little inside.
Look, the idea.
What is he keeps interrupting. What is a mountain of gray matter? Like mud?
Don't worry about that one. It's
Did
fine.
we really
Just give me
write down
food
all
instead.
this stuff?
I don't remember writing all those down, admittedly. It may have been the alcohol.
A rainbow bracelet of precious gemstones. I mean, I suppose we can get that made. That could be...
That also has to be blessed. It has to have some sort of,
Right.
It has to also be helpful.
He squints a little bit at the next thing. This is just... a square rectangular parchment card that states Alis, that will permit Alis into the Astral Academy's library, may also include captain on the card. So
we already have that, don't worry.
We have a lot of captains.
This one is more of a, do you have a library here? If so, we need our captain of our libraries to be able to inspect the libraries. That kind of thing.
I mean,
be able to borrow books borrow being a loose term.
I mean,
You know.
absolutely. If knowledge is what you seek, we do have a variety of libraries. The Exodus Academy, of course, probably one of the best libraries in the land. You would be
Give us
given
access to that.
Done. I'm sure if
Terminus.
you're...
And remember, we need to make sure that the card says captain of the library for Brisbane, specifically regarding the Exodus Library, just to make sure.
Alright.
Very clear. Thank you. We appreciate it. And Leighton, kind of puts a hand on Alice to, make sure that, hey, I got this. I'm taking care of this.
Alice, looks so conflicted because he feels like he needs to interject with, you don't have to do this. This is very stupid. But at the same time, he would love to have a card that says that he can go into any library and take any book he wants. So the more that this guy's like, sure, I can do that, he's like, okay, maybe I just won't say anything.
I mean, we can look into it, but I suppose that's... And then he looks across the table to Armstrong at this, haunted expression, this haunted expression on his face for, a solid, 5 seconds. Armstrong, you can feel him staring at you. Before it goes back to the document, research and assistant in the defeat of the Deep One's disciples and the retrieval of one Captain Armstrong's soul. Sir, what has happened to you?
Should be fairly self-explanatory.
Aye, it seems pretty close in the text what exactly what we're looking for in this case.
I don't know what the Deep One is, and what... He looks at Leighton
We've been fighting a lot.
with a frown. Find wonderment for Leighton. Lad, are you okay? Are you sad?
I would be much happier if you can help us with fulfilling this contract, friend. Let's just say my wonderment will be the fulfillment of as much as you can of this contract,
All right, well, I shall... This kind of leaves things pretty loose, so I'll do the best that I can, but... Conjuration of food education credit, I'm not certain of what that is. I don't know what gray matter is, but I can look into that for you.
How about you just teach our chef here, she motions to Nicholas, teach Bread Boy how to make better food.
Nicholas swallows and says, oh, no, that's okay, thank you.
Shut up, Bread Boy!
Can
you give him some classes?
He leans over and says to Kyron, I can make better food than this. And then he shakes his head to you.
Luna kind of interjects a bit and says, not better food, but ingredients. Can you get our chef ingredients?
Aye, supplies. Us pirates sometime never return back to shore for a long time. We need as much food as we can get our hands on.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Of course we'd be able to do that to you. We can provide you with spices, a variety of meats, I suppose, seasoned so that they preserve on the land. Brisbane is known for its naval hospitality.
Great naval hospitality. Can you upgrade our kitchen area?
Do you need a ship? I mean, I suppose a ship could be a proper reward.
Leighton kind of goes, did you just say a ship? You have a ship?
We have shipwrights. We could build you one, sure, if that's what you seek. I believe
upgrade?
that he'll roll the parchment and he says, I mean, I could work on all this, sure, but it would just be easier if I just got you a new ship. And then he'd hand over the document to you.
Well, I mean, we wouldn't want to get rid of our old ship. We would just, we would take our...
You're free to do whatever you want. It's your ship. We would just build you a new ship. Silence falls over the table. Everyone looks around and is like, a ship? I mean, it would be up to you if you would like the ship to fly or to sail.
I would love one ship that can fly and sail. In Captain Leighton puts one leg on the table.
Mm-hmm.
I demand a ship that can fly and can go fast and sail and is definitely much faster than the Misdemeanor, please.
He
Don't have the
What
crew
if-
to run 2 ships.
What if we upgrade the misdemeanor so that the misdemeanor can fly and sail faster?
No, Armstrong has already said that he would rather die than let it fly.
he
Okay,
would,
then a new ship is fine.
well, he would look over at you mentioned the crew, and he's like, "Well, of course we would. If you would like the ship to fly the colors of Brisbane, we would have a crew operate under your stead if you'd wish."
But does that mean we technically
sounds
work for the Brisbane Naval Facilities?
Yes, to be clear, I don't think any of us are interested in being privateers.
Nah.
He ponders a little bit and says, "Well, I think we could pay the wages of the crew for a year while you looked for your own crew, I suppose."
Tell you what, I have an idea. Why don't we just forget the whole ship thing and you allow me, according to the city or country of Brisbane, to let me adopt this boy right here as my own.
Blinks a little bit.
Ayla suddenly looks up like, what?
A-list beard throne, heir to Lady Luck. How's that sound? Can you get the paperwork for that?
Heir to Lady
Is he an orphan?
I'm not quite. I'm just, I've always wanted a boy in my family, and and
He
I
looks
just
visibly concerned, and he's like, if he is already the child of someone and is not an orphan, I can't just take him away from his family.
Ayla will, because Leighton's standing up, right?
yeah.
while the senator is sort of stumbling over, I don't really understand exactly what's going on here, sort of stuff. Ayla will stand up and kind of like put a hand up, like, okay, and he'll say, "We'll put a pin in that, right?" And he'll look at Leighton. Because there might be a situation in which that is possible in the future, right?
Leighton gets off the table and tries to shrug it off, like, yeah, we could put a pin in that. Yeah, no problem. Just
The senator raises an eyebrow, really curious as to how someone who has parents would suddenly not have parents to the point where Leighton would be able to adopt them. But figured it would probably best not to go into it.
Ayla realizes that Leighton didn't understand what he meant, and the senator didn't understand what he meant, and just kind of and sits down.
So, no ship.
Upgraded ship.
Kind of
Well.
rumble.
An entire ship.
Upgrades. Upgrades!
we just above board. We just got our ship upgraded though.
Yeah.
But we can do it again.
Can we do it again?
I mean, you're free
For free.
You're free to change whatever you want. The senator will express it would take more time to upgrade the ship than it would just to build a ship from scratch, though.
Oh, that's weird.
Simply because you'd have to figure out, what the ship's been made of, what exactly needs to be done with it, the replacement of a variety of materials, instead of just starting from scratch from a frame that people already know how to build.
It could turn into a brigantine. Get a bigger ship. More cannons.
I mean, we can either build you a ship or upgrade yours. Your upgrade, though, may take some time as we have to figure out more of the ship. But if there's certain requirements that you need, we can suit it up, get ready to go, give you plenty of food that'll last you for months across the seas. How did you get here, by the way?
Why, we sailed through the Serpent Smile. How else?
Aye.
That's exactly why I want to upgrade the ship. That was horrendous.
How old is your ship? How old is your ship?
Oh, she's at least 50 or 60 years old.
And you've sailed through the Serpent's Smile. That's quite an impressive feat.
Aye, twice.
And docked. Inside of it.
Well,
Tremendous idea.
well, I don't know what else we could do with an older ship, but we could always build a smaller ship that can be piloted easily by a small crew. That would probably give you an easier time through the Smile. Made of a fine driftwood, a variety of iron plates and metals with the finest of steam technology, giving it the ability to fly if you so wish to sail across the land instead of over the waters. It is not something that we build or offer to many ships, but we could make one of your specification. Unless you're sentimental for your ship, in which case, I don't know how much more we can do with it. The choice is up to you, of course. If you desire a brand new ship in its entirety, we could also decommission your ship, use the materials to build a new ship.
Whoa, slow down there. Slow down.
He holds up his hands. He's like,
Off the table. But I feel a ship of high quality would be an ample reward for those that saved Brisbane, using our greatest technologies to allow you to sail and fly. Ultimately, though, it's up to you. But I can rest assured, our ships will be made the same way as we build our trade ships, which means the Serpent's Smile should provide you with little to no problems, as we've gotten pretty good at navigating. More importantly, he lets out a sigh at this point and nods. We will let you know of our secret trade routes, so that you would be able to sail through the Serpent's Smile with great ease. There are certain patterns within the Smile that we have discovered over the past few decades that allows sailing to be a little less dangerous than just simply crossing through. We would be willing to give you that knowledge as well.
Well, we would have to navigate 2 ships back to Crashheart.
That's true. We could provide you with a crew so that you can navigate both ships if you do wish to leave your older ship in your homeland.
I'm starting to feel like we're talking in circles. Perhaps we should talk about this and then get back to you.
Of course.
Aye.
Whatever
A
you
lot to
wish.
think about.
Whatever you wish at that point. I just want to make sure that you were amply rewarded.
We appreciate it.
Well, you have an ally here in Brisbane. Thank you very much for everything that you've done. If there's anything at any time you need, you will always have my ear.
Well, we appreciate the courtesy.
is there anything else that you talk about with the senator before the dinner wraps up?
I don't think so.
I can't think of anything.
No.
All right, so I want to go ahead and above board figure out what your next step is. You guys are planning a heist of the Exodus Academy, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, that'll be the start of your misdemeanor campaign then of season 3. An actual heist of the Exodus Academy. As the dinner
It's gonna go great.
as
gonna be
the
awesome.
as the dinner concludes itself at this point in time, the room illuminates with a white light. Senator looks around confused, as does everyone else.
Oh,
It
dear.
is at this point. Yeah, Sterling, you see this light. You just see everything just kind of illuminate bright for a moment. Sterling and Alis. I need you to make me Constitution saving throws, please, as you feel this light begin to tear at you.
Me too.
Okay.
Oh, Sterling, you're so old.
I used my best one years ago.
Sterling, do you have any questions or anything like that? You're free to ask them.
In regards to
this light that is pulling away at you.
Yeah, sure. Do I recognize it? Is it like familiar?
It is familiar.
Is it the same light that I experienced in Atlas?
Make me a charisma check.
Charisma?
Yes. You recall the exact same feeling of light that was attempting to pull away at you in Atlas in this.
So this is Ascension.
At this point, with a 22, Alis, you have failed the Constitution save as you are then pulled away.
Oh my god.
What?
The same with Sterling, as the light itself fills and bathes through the room. When the light fades, Alis and Sterling are gone.
Wait, what? Where did they go?
What the devil?
Wait. Halis? Sterling?
Karen gets up and looks under the table.
Hey, Senator.
The senator looks just as confused as you are.
What happened?
You
What
better
was
not
that?
have had anything to do with this.
Armstrong crawls on the
Where
table.
did they go?
So he walks across the table.
Yeah. I don't know.
Where's the headmaster?
Yes, of course. We'll have to speak to the Archmagister immediately. I am uncertain of what this was.
And with that, we will wrap up today's session of the Misdemeanor.
What?
Oh, shit.
What the fuck?
Oh my gosh.
Alis and Sterling, we will see you this Thursday at 7 p.m. EST for the Chamber of the Eight.
Hell yeah.
As you all will be the last one to arrive. You will see 2 goblins. Wait, would Alis and Sterling know? No, you two wouldn't have seen him. You would see a paled-faced individual that appears red and shifting back and forth between a monkey and their individual form.
What?
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
You would see. Hold on, let me go ahead and get everything out. I got these two. Yeah. You would also at this point see teleporting in, a turtle humanoid, who would walk over to you all slowly. You would see what appears to be a very pale undead woman, robed, with her mouth stitched. And at her side, a tiny kobold that appears to be a cleric.
To be clear, we don't see that.
That is correct. This is
Gotcha.
this would only be Alis and Sterling. So, this Thursday is going to be our campaign mini-series, The Chamber of the Eight. It's going to star, from this campaign, Dodger and Joe. And then from all the other campaigns and the offline campaigns, Gmart, Sput, Bree, Benji, Shane, and Strippin. And that,
Nice.
Cool. Very cool.
and
So
that
does
was-
that mean that we're gonna play Misdemeanor without Alis?
The following Saturday, we're gonna take a day off from the Misdemeanor because this was also an opportunity for me to see what direction you guys were gonna go to first with season 3. So next Saturday we're gonna take off. but potentially the following Saturday we may still have on, or we may take 2 weeks off, depending, since Dodger will be in a campaign for 2 weeks essentially.
Oh, it's a 2-week campaign. Gotcha.
It is a 2-week campaign.
Yeah, it's short.
Yeah, it's a very short mini series that unlocks a couple of lore tidbits for Act 3, essentially, before everyone would, assuming they live, return to their respective campaigns. But that'll be, that'll be Thursday, 7 p.m. EST. It should be 2 sessions, maybe 3, depending, but more than likely it should only be 2 sessions. And should be very fun and very exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, very fun, very fun.
Mm-hmm.
I actually adore, because I was like, oh man, once we're done with this senator, I really want Alis to like have a conversation with Leighton, and I kind of love that I just fucking vanished and didn't get to have it. Emotional cock blocking at every turn.
Leighton, there's something I want to tell you. No.
Whoops.
That's okay. But there it is. What about Kraken? Kraken's bowing out of that campaign, and we have Sput that's going to be in place of that. Everybody. So, but it should be a good time. Still 8 players. Yeah, the Warforged won't be there, and in place will actually be a tiny little kobold. So, and that'll be Sput's character, and we get to play with Sput again. So I'm really looking forward to see DMing Sput, because it's been quite a while since I've DM'd Sput. So, but yeah, that is the end of today's session. Did you guys enjoy yourself today?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very good, very good.
Good. I've got some fan art for you all.
Oh.
And then I have another campaign at 7 p.m. the next 40 minutes.
Oh, nice.
I'm doing some double DMing today. All right, let me... Also, this was Sterling's final session on the misdemeanor, so...
Sterling.
Yes. Goodbye, my friend.
I wanted to say goodbye to Sterling.
Aww.
Oh, it's not goodbye. We'll see each other again, my friend.
Aw. I'm really sad. I love Sterling.
I know, dude.
I know, this
You're
crew's
so
so good,
cool.
dude. No, you guys have been so welcome. It's been so much fun.
Aw, thank you for joining us, Joe.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. Thank you for welcoming me in
dude.
so well.
You did great. Sterling was awesome.
Our first piece of fan art would be Armstrong doing a chair
Oh
drop.
my god.
Amazing.
On the cultist. Very good.
Perfect.
We've got a lovely Kyron banging at the table.
I love the way Lamia draws Kyron. God damn.
Me too. I love it. I love it.
So cute.
Delicious. Finally, some good fucking insight checks. Alis's protection squad, as we see over.
Oh.
I love
my family.
Jeez.
Sterling uses burn. It's very effective.
Aw, that's cute.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. Fortunately, I think Sterling will have a chance to say goodbye, at least to Alis. Yeah, because of the way the chamber lines up, everyone that was gonna be part of it had to be teleported. So, my apologies if I didn't give you guys enough ample time for any heartfelt goodbyes. Everything just kind of lined up weirdly and differently. So, but I'm sure there will be other opportunities in the future. I promise you on this. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. You guys had a good session today, though?
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You, Brett.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. I will see you all, Dodger and Joe. I'll see you on Thursday, and Misdemeanor will be off next Saturday, but we may be back on the 3rd. or the 10th, depending on people's schedules. Sound good with everybody?
Yeah.
Sounds good, man.
Good.
All right. I will see you all later. Bye, 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 bye.
Bye.
All right. All right, everybody. I have to prepare for a new session. Let's go ahead and see what's happening.